Hello, welcome, Pocket Watch here, and it's about time for yet another episode of Fata Morgana. So let's continue the story and let's meet. Let's meet with Morgana, I guess. Like, we're opening the door with the 3 keys we got from the shadows. So yeah, let's do it, I guess. Uh-huh. There they are. The keys fit perfectly in the openings on the lock, and when I insert the last one, it clicks open. Okay? The chains sealing the door falling to the floor. Also, yeah, apparently Michelle like this and the Michelle as the girl have the same pronunciation. They're waiting beyond the door at the top of the stairs. I start pondering what I can even do in a face-off against Morgana, which sends a nervous shudder down my spine. I'm not going to back down regardless, but she is a witch, and I'm a mere human, formerly human. Yep. I'm not a master swordsman, nor do I wield a gun, not like it would help you anyway. I mean, there's like magic shenanigans. I have nothing at all with which to fight her. I still have to confront the witch though, no matter what. As laughably reckless, as foolish as I may be, I have no other option. I place my hand on the door, preparing to climb the tower when I once spent my last breath. Giselle locked safely away in the chamber at the top. Yeah. Also, like recent episodes feels like I'm like getting closer and closer to the end of the game. But on the other hand, we just had the title screen. Like, where I am in the game, I cannot tell. Tower where I first met the witch. No hesitation. Okay. The sound of blood streaming down the stairs echoed off the stone walls. Although I have begun growing numb to the house's otherworldly ornamentation, the sight of seemingly endless river of blood flowing down the spiral staircase sent a chill through me. Wow. Is she like going to show him like himself being dead? Every step I climb make a splat noise. When I reach a window, I look out to see a church riding black fog. Now this brings me back. You're climbing the stairs alone, just like old times. Morgana. I waited so long for someone like you to show up. Someone with enough despair to resurrect me. Give her back. But now I don't see it in you. I don't feel one bit of that intense helplessness anymore. Give her back. And here I thought we're cut from the same cloth. Morgana? Yes, I will give her back. If you can make it to me without losing yourself. I will not give up. Also, we should not trust Morgana, right? So I don't think like she's like actually wants to give up on Giselle. And as she said, like she cannot basically give her up because without her, Morgana is basically helpless, right? She needs her. She needs like someone to like convey her like, let's say, will, I would say. For not having a better word for this. Because this is not per se possession. It's like she's using Giselle to like basically do what she wanted. 1 second. Okay. I'll not give up. It doesn't matter what you do. Haha. Looking up, I can see how far the stairs extend. It's just a gaping blackness, so I have no way of knowing for sure whether I'm getting any closer. Around and around, around and around, around and around. Beneath me, the blood river traces the same path in reverse. I start to wonder if the staircase even does end. If I'm not just eternally tracing my own steps. But I continue climbing regardless. It's all I can do. Put one foot in front of another and hope I make it to the top. Morgana? What is this place? What did you do to it? What is it? Why? It's the mansion you lived in for a decade, of course. You look at this and tell me it's the same house. What's with the blood everywhere? And the freed shadows? Now, my dear, no need to raise your voice. And you're being impolite. One question at a time. Okay. So we're going to have some answers, actually. Answer me. What is this place? It's immaterial. Even if I were give you an answer you found satisfying, what would that knowledge do for you? Your objective is to reach the top of the stairs and rescue Giselle. Nothing more, nothing less. Isn't that right? Or by any chance, have you taken interest in me? Despite never once asking me about myself before. My gut tells me that without knowing what this place is, without even the briefest glimpse of its nature, I won't be able to safely get her back. Yeah. Without knowing what I'm up against, I don't stand a chance. Time to learn about Morgana. Please tell me about this mansion, Morgana. About yourself. What are you, Morgana? A witch? No, that's not what I'm asking. Why do you have powers that you do? What are you? Yeah, I get it. Humans feel need to attach names to things, and the phenomena they don't understand. I understand that feeling very well. So you're basically telling us that you were a human once. Which is why I'm sure you would be rather disappointed when I reveal the truth. What do you mean? What I mean is, I'm an ordinary human. Yep, okay. That's not possible. You expect me to believe a human created this illusion? Then, are you saying I'm a magician or wizard, like you might say in the fairy tale? I would believe that, over you being human. Think back then, would you? Recall our time together. Did they ever once use magic? Did I control fire or wind? Did I create illusions? No, I did none of that, because I could not. To you, when you were alive, I suppose you could say? I was not but a simple ghost. Yeah. So basically you're saying that all that we see here is just like illusion that is created by the inhabitants of this mansion. It's not like basically Morgana's doing this stuff. It's more like you feel despair and you create this illusion out of your own despair, and I just like use this against you, basically. I think it might be like that. A rather mischievous, but otherwise powerless spirit. And I was nothing more to those three men either. The witch Morgana was never anything but a wretched phantom haunting this old house. But then how do you explain this? Michelle, my dear. We're not the same beings we once were. Oh, never mind, you are actually a witch now. Never mind. We are different than we were in the realm of light, the era of the living. Yeah, okay. You figured out much though, haven't you? Yeah, we are basically all dead. You're already dead. Yeah. I mean, we saw a door who like died on the top of stairs. Yes, I know. I couldn't possibly be alive. Yet still you view this world through the lens of living. You make no effort to see it as the land of the dead. Tell me, why would you think that the realm of the living and dead are the same? Very good point. Though the walls behind each door were so vibrant, the mansion itself never had any color. They were the memories of the past, of the land of the living, of times forever lost to us. Our lives have already come to an end, my dear. Every last soul within those walls is dead. This is the world that lies beyond the end. This is my world. This is the afterlife. Why get caught up in the community. None of us has the future. So what reason is there for you to desperately obsess over taking Giselle back? Just like you. She's long since dead. Yeah, we know. She's a walking corpse. It's nothing I didn't know, but hearing her say it, yeah, it's a different story. It's like a kick to the gut. The door life. She still lives on within this house, and my spirit found its way back too. Why then should I not wish for her to have a future? No matter what form it may take. No matter if my choices erase her from this world entirely. Having seen what lies beyond the door in her heart, what happened in all those hundreds of years, I could never let her remain here with you. Trapped in this world bereft of light. Drifting aimlessly for all eternity. So determined. You feel the need to raise your voice. But you're not going to budge at this point, I see. I ask you this again, Morgana. Please tell me about yourself. How did you become a witch? How did you end up attached to this house? Yeah, and why you feel like you need to punish these guys? I want to hear your story. Please, yes, tell me. This is what I'm curious about. Do you honestly want to know about me? I do now, yes. Not for me. For her, right? Yeah, don't be shy now. It's the truth, isn't it? Besides, if you did say it was me, not her, I might die of laughter. As you wish. You've seen many tales of people lives since arriving here, and now you shall see mine. Do I ask you this? Will you live in despair with me? Will you endure maddening agony for me? Will you know pain enough to make you whole? Will you face despair again and again? As I said before, if that's what you want from me. Let me tell you something too, my dear. It will not be as easy to watch as you imagine. Now that you've reclaimed yourself, you will be able to feel all my pain, as if it were your own, to resonate with. Resonate with? Okay, that's interesting. You no longer have your little guardian with you either. My guardian? She was always protecting me. You'll have a wonderful time, I'm sure. It's a tale that could only take place in the era of miracles and spirituality. Wonderless and weird, senseless and stupid. Hopelessly tragic. Will you watch it with me? As soon as the final word leaves her mouth, I'm engulfed in darkness. Not even given a moment to brace myself. The tower stairs crumble beneath me. My feet have nowhere to go. As I'm being battered by the roaring blood river, my consciousness melts with wonder. Okay, so we're going to be from Morgana perspective? Oh shit! How far in the time are we? Oh wow, we are very far back. Okay, that's a... I've waited for like backstory for Morgana so much. I was not sure if like she's actually real or not, but I assume like something happened to her in the past and like she cursed these people or something, and that's why like they reincarnated, and she knows about this and wants to punish them and stuff. So soundtrack, as always, is just magnificent. I carry within me the child of God. That is where it all began. The words of one foolish woman determined the course of my entire life. Before I was even born, my fate was decided. Did her claim come from faith? Was it her way of escaping reality? Did she do it for money? Or fame? I don't know. I've been visited by the angel of the Lord. The village where she lived had suffered from years of poor harvest. It had been months since the last rain, and all the villagers prayed desperately to be blessed with a succor. I am with a child, though I know no man. Is this like Morgana mother stalking and bullshitting people around? So proclaimed, the pregnant woman in the midst of the drought. And on the day of my birth, the very moment I let out my first cry, a heavy rain fell down upon the village. Holy shit, what a coincidence and a miracle. Okay, how the hell did you end up being hated and like becoming a witch? If like the first time, like, you just been born and like fucking rain just started falling down. How did you end up like being called evil? Like, what? The storm quenched the parched earth, nourishing the crops and saved the village. The villagers were astonished, for they had thought the drought would never end. As plump drops of rain poured down the village, they gathered around newborn me in exultation. Ah, she is the child of God. Perhaps there would be more wonder in claiming I had magical powers. Perhaps it would make a better story if I were to say there were higher forces involved. But all these years later, here is what I truly think. It was nothing more than a fluke. Yep. An improbable stroke of luck. An unbelievably fortunate accident for my mother and the village. And an indescribably unfortunate accident for myself. I am with child, though I have known no man. As if that's even possible. Maybe she had fooled around with the man who had gone and abandoned her. She spouted those lies to convince herself it had never happened. None of the village man made any claim to be my father. Perhaps he was someone else's husband, and such he couldn't reveal himself, as adultery is a sin in the eyes of God. The girl the prizing as the child of God was, indeed, not more than the ordinary daughter of the wretched woman. At the time, though, I thought differently. I believe my mother was convinced I was assigned, and it gave me a sense of duty and purpose rather than superiority. Oh, okay, interesting. Usually, like, if you are like normal human, then you would actually feel superior, I guess. If like everyone is like talking about you so highly all the time. But yeah, times were different, I guess. I cannot like really comprehend, I guess, that mindset. As the daughter of God, I believed it was my responsibility to help anyone in need. So every day I prayed. I asked my father whom I could do for what I could do, what I was meant to do. Not everyone is equally good, however. There will always be someone who lends their ear to the devil whisperers. One man claimed I was the daughter of the charlatan. He shouted for all to hear, "If you are the child of God, then perform a miracle for us." Could he have been any more unreasonable? Miracles are neither magic nor parlor tricks. They are realized through the power of faith. A lowly villager had no place demanding God prove his own divinity. It is the height of arrogance, but the man refused to heed my words. So having no other choice, I contemplated what I could do to show him I was indeed a saint. And blood was the spark of my inspiration. Okay? Michelle. The time when I lived and the time when you lived were not so different. Our views and beliefs about the world are very much the same, so you should understand that in our time, blood was seen as unclean. Okay? It was a dreadful thing, ridden with diseases, which is why we drain the blood from animals and purify the flesh before consuming it. But being a saint, my blood would have been different. Like the blood of the saints who came before me, mine will be blessed. I believed it will be able to cleanse people's impurities. For my demonstration, I chose an elderly woman afflicted with terrible disease. She was on her deathbed, and no one would thought she would live for longer than a day or two. The woman was overjoyed when I came to visit her. Okay. So she dies anyway. Sincerely believing me to be holy servant of the Lord, she gathered all the strength she could muster to climb from her bed and kiss my feet. I felt an intensely deep love for this woman. Placing my hands on her cheeks, I said with all the kindness in my heart, "My beloved sister, partake of my blood." Okay. The woman agreed without a glimpse of hesitation. And so I pricked the tip of my finger with a knife and let the blood drip into her mouth. Within 3 days, her health had improved enough for her to get out of bed unassisted. Holy fuck! How did you end up being bad? I don't get this. So far, you like your existence just like bringing miracles all over around. What? Also, this can be explained by basically like determination and the willpower of the person, because it was elderly woman who just basically gave up probably on life, but now she get like a hope so she can like survive like for some more time, right? Like she feels better because like mindset is like one, like it's like very important thing in like health basically, right? Saying that, no one in the village doubted my powers any longer. In fact, the man who had accused me of being the daughter of the charlatan was subsequently punished for his sins. He received much deserved retribution for challenging the daughter of God and for mocking her. But of course, being a saint, I forgave the man. He in turn repented and changed his ways, worshipped me as the true child of God. Now I'll be honest with you, I was ecstatic, utterly elated. I felt like I was on the top of the world and I revealed in it. See, I said like that would be the typical mindset that you would have. Not feeling like you have a mission. That's more normal. So I guess like she was drawn in her power and did some like bad decisions. The villagers showered me with the adulation. They revered me, the daughter of God. Anyone who didn't was punished. Wow. She's really a dictator here. God damn it. On top of that, my blood could cause miracles. Tell me, do you look down on me for feeling the way I did? The actual child of God would never let herself be consumed by such base emotions, would she? But if you would give me a chance, I would like to explain myself. I was but a young girl at the time, and to a child, her mother is the word. Anything she says is absolute truth. So when my mother claims to happen to coincidence with a lucky miracle, my young mind was set in stone. I was a saint. My blood could heal the sick, and nothing could convince me otherwise. After all, I was about a girl of 6 years old. Wow, I assume like she's older in this backstory. Holy shit, okay. That's like very early. I felt like she's like, I don't know, like at least like, I don't know, 15 or something. Because she sounded like, I don't know, like older, not like 6. Interesting. This is my place to decide whether my blood truly had miraculous powers or not. If you think it did, then it did. And if you think it was all happiness, then so it was. Miracles are brought about by faith. So other woman who was healed was done so by the power of her own belief. Baseless hope and desire can, at times, make the otherwise impossible reality. You understand just how major a role religion played in our time, don't you, Michelle? Especially someone whose life was taken from him in the name of God. And you understand how powerful word of mouth can be as well, don't you? It didn't take long for the word of the miracle-performing child of God to spread. Travelers from faraway lands came to our village, all in search of aid. Okay, and there were people who clearly did not believe, because this is basically closed ecosystem. There were people probably with different beliefs or something as well. And they tried to expose her. Driven by the mixture of felicitation and duty, I gave my blessing on the very pilgrim who saw them. Also, some of them can like bullshit people that, oh no, I'm sick. He takes a blood and he's like sick still. And he's like, oh no, I feel worse. Something like that, you know? Basically just act to like make her like basically go down. Okay. During my actual duty, I gave my blessing onto every pilgrim who sought them. I gave them my blood, yes. My young hands were perpetually covered in wounds, running out of skin on my fingers. I cut the back of my hands, my palms, and my wrists. Before long, they had turned into swollen, carved up black and red horrors. Holy fuck. How much you have to cut your hands to... Like, what did you, like, did you like cut your hand like 50 times like a day or something? The hell? And so I kept them wrapped in cloth all the time. The only time I uncovered them was to give blood to those who sought it. My lacerated hands were in no uncertain terms gruesome and unsightly. And probably they also got infected and your blood is not healing anymore suddenly. But the believers who came to see me all wept at my self-sacrifice. And so I came to cherish those wounds. There were some whom no miracle took place, but whenever that would happen, the villagers would come and say, the daughter of God is not to blame, you simply lack sufficient faith. Yeah. Thus, such incidents had no negative effect on my reputation as a saint. For 3 years, I continued doling out blessings. Okay, so she's 9 now. One day, while I was offering a prayer, my mother let sleep her discontent. Why must you hand out miracles for nothing? Yeah, the greed. Okay, I see. The mom will be like, you know what, you should like get money from this. Why must you give strangers grace? We should be getting compensated. We deserve remuneration. If we charge just a little bit for each blessing, we could be living so much more comfortably. I was dumbfounded. How could the mother of saint say such things? Helping people was my divine calling, and she's expect payment. I nearly wept hearing my mother preoccupied with such worldly desires. So I explained to her how important this work was. I told her that we were not covered material wealth. We were to dedicate our lives to the service of our fellow men. I wonder if mother, like, actually got angry at her at this point. Like, she's like, oh, you don't want, like, to earn money? You bitch, I'm going to teach you. And she's, like, going, like, to tell everyone who's, like, real father or something. Like, I lied before to you and so, but she's still, like, there's, like, pretty much a lot of miracles going on around Morgana here, so how much of her image can her mother destroy with this? I mean, they can call her crazy or like being possessed by demon or something to say such things. Could be as well. Anyway. You're right, my dear saint, she said, understanding. And I believed her. I fell asleep that night, convinced that she truly understand that there would be no more problems. But the next day, I was sold off. Man I had never seen before carried me by the arms and tossed me to the carriage. Okay, hold on a second. She just sold her as the fucking slave or something? At the age of 9? What a fucking bullshit. Like it happened at night, and like because none of the villagers could see this. Because they would not agree for this. What the hell? Confused and panicked, I stuck my head out, searching for my mother. Out of the shadows of the house, I saw her with a strange man, accepting a bag of coins. The carriage rocked back and forth as it rolled along a dirt road, shaking and bouncing within it. I struggled with overwhelming grief and despair. It was perhaps the first time in my life I had felt such a powerful emotion. I didn't know what I felt so much despair over though. Obviously, it was over my present predicament, but I wasn't sure what about it hurt the most. Was it that I had been pawned off like a slave? Was that my mother, the mother of Saint, had been blinded by money? Was it that the villagers had watched in silence as the disciple of God was thrown into the carriage? Wait, so village show this? Village show it? Saw it? Sorry. I thought like it was doing in the night. They didn't know. What? That doesn't make sense. Why would they sell her off like that? Like, seriously, like she was like supposedly like helping everyone around. Like the village was like blessed with like good crops and health and everything just because of her, apparently. That's what they believed. And they just sold her off? It doesn't make sense. Rose that I, daughter of God, lamb that makes fortune like a mortal. I decided it was a trial. My father, the Lord God, was testing my worthiness of being his daughter. So I choked back my urge to cry and sat there in silent contemplation. For almost 3 weeks, as I rocked around in the carriage. The coachman treated me well enough, but I'm certain it was only because he didn't want his precious cargo dying before he could deliver it. He did not by all means think me the child of God. Yep, pretty much. The 3rd week, the carriage arrived at the city. It was much larger than the village I had grown up with many people crowding the streets. Something about them felt different too. They all spoke in different foreign to me, which is when I realized I was far away from home. I was delivered to the lavishly decorated mansion of the region's lord. Brightly colored flowers bloomed wildly in the gardens as guests laughed and ate extravagant meals. In addition to them, there were probably 4 times as many slaves moving about the grounds, getting a range of look from everyone we passed, from smartly dressed men to scrawly, emaciating servants, and was led to the Lord's chambers. The Lord was surrounded by the beautiful women. Perhaps there were slaves, or perhaps there were prostitutes, I couldn't tell. Among them were some girls hardly older than me. They were all wearing swath of clothes. What is this word? I don't know this word. Swathes? Swaves of cloth, barely covering themselves at all. The Lord looked up at me up and down, and with a laugh he said, "Welcome, daughter of God. You will be performing miracles for me now." Okay. Miracles are not something to be performed for one single person's benefit, I replied. Shocked and furious, he just said something so utterly blasphemous. In response he said, "I bought you. You are my property. You have no right to an opinion." But I would not have any of it. I enthralled him, to give up his indulgent lifestyle and devote himself to the service of the Lord. But the more I played, the deeper the creases on his face grew. Thinking back on it now, it was hardly surprising. A 9-year-old girl was scolding the most powerful man in the region. Yeah, that must be like funny sight. Oh my god. I believed it was my duty, and I was only doing what was right. But he surely saw it as incredible arrogance. So the Lord forced his will upon me. He bound my hands and feet and cut me without my permission, filling a goblet with my blood and passing it around to his guests. The fuck? Okay, so he actually believes that she's like bringing miracles. A saint blood and good fortune to all. That was when I realized the Lord was uninterested in the approval of the others. He revealed in their envy and he pranced about, showing off his curious new toy. Me. He didn't need my miracles. Neither he nor any of his guests were afflicted with disease or misfortune. They were all richly blessed. Every time he threw a banquet, he drained me of my blood. It became nearly impossible to find a spot on either of my arms that wasn't swollen, reddish black gash. And soon, because my arms weren't proving enough blood for him, the cutting spread to my legs. The fuck is... oh my god. Okay. I lived in the haze of half-consciousness. Honestly, I'm amazed it didn't kill me. Though perhaps the Lord was simply taking care not to take more than my body could spare. Watching the 12 partygoers laugh and sip my blood, through bleary eyes, under wave of despair came over me. My miracles, my blood, were not meant to be appetizer at the feast. They were meant for the sick and the poor. And also they fucking sound like vampires. What kind of fucked up party is that? But despite my wishes, the Lord persisted to squeeze me dry, day and day out for his own enjoyment. For a while I was convinced it was all God's test. It was all that was part of his plan for me, his daughter. That if I could make it through this trial, I would be allowed to go back to helping people. That man would celebrate my success, envy me, worship me. That sinners would face punishment. The divine retribution would be delivered unto all who had wronged me, a saint. With each passing day my spirit grew more twisted. Would anyone have believed that scarred and bloodied girl tied up on the floor in the banquet hall was a saint? Oh, she was like tied on the floor in the banquet hall. I thought like she was like, I don't know, like at the wall in like dungeon or like some room outside of the banquet hall. Are you fucking serious? Unlikely. This is no charitable gathering, but an unholy Sabbath. Yeah, sounds like fucking vampires devil thing. Perhaps that was caused by my corrupted spirit. Perhaps it was my heart. It was my heart's way of crying for help. Or perhaps it was devil giving me my witch mark. But no matter what the cause, during one of the bloody banquets, I underwent a transformation. Okay? I was half conscious as usual when one of the guests pointed at me and shouted something. His face went pale, as if they were afraid, which I found quite curious. The Lord then approached me, grabbing by the hair and lifting my head. He yelled something, but I was too far gone to be able to make out what he was saying. Suddenly I found myself released from my bonds. So did I realize that she's like dying or something? One of the guests like realized, wait, she's like not looking good? But my body had grown so weak from being tied up for so long, I didn't have the strength to hold myself up. And so I collapsed to the floor. Wasn't he tied to the floor though? I was still trying to figure out what was happening when the Lord drew a sword, rising it high above his head. Never mind! His words in that moment reached me with perfect clarity. You are a damned witch wearing a signed skin. Okay, what happened? What changed in her suddenly? I don't... Okay, what just happened? A witch? Why was he calling me the witch? I was a holy daughter of God. I had certainly never made a pact with the devil. What could have been given him that idea? What was in the store for me? Had God performed some kind of miracle for him? This is... I don't know. Something in her physics, something like, I don't know, like her eyes got like bloody maybe? Or like she got like sick, maybe... I don't know, her eyes got yellow or something. I don't know, like this can be like a lot of like sickness going around from this treatment. So something like some kind of like disease happened, and they like just said like, hey, this is a witch. Like suddenly she's like not looking as she should, and like, yeah. Dozens of thoughts and questions floated through my mind as death hung over me. I couldn't comprehend anything, so I didn't feel any fear or anger at my impending death. I was simply curious what had happened to me. But before I had the chance to find the answer, the Lord swung down his blade. Okay. That's one hell of a story. Without warning, without any time to prepare, the darkness drains away. And so is the episode. So yeah, thanks for joining. Wow, that was Morgana backstory. It still didn't give me like... I will have more, will definitely have more. It still didn't tell me anything about why she cursed these people around. Were like these three one of the guests on the banquets that she remembers? But until the very end, she believed that she's the daughter of God. So she had no reason at that time to curse anyone. So maybe we'll learn this next time, but holy shit. Morgana time, and like when she was like alive and what happened to her? Wow, I did not expect to see something so fucked up. Oh my god, these times were fucking terrible. Anyway, thank you everyone for being with me. Thank you for watching this episode of Fata Morgana. Hope to see you in the next one. Leave up a like in this episode and in the next one as well. Leave your comments down below, subscribe, check my Discord, become a member if you'd like to support me and see the episodes earlier, and also vote in the future for the next series. Thank you everyone once again. I will see you next one. So for a Pocket Watch, it's going out.